All right, Follow Me Tool and Spheres Part 2. A little more complex scenario this time around. I'm going to use the Apple Pencil and multi-touch this time just so I can work a little bit more quickly. But again, we'll grab the circle tool and draw a circle. This time I am going to set the number of sides for the circle to be a little bit higher. By default, the circles are drawn with 24 sides, but here in the measurements box, I'm going to type 36 seg or 36s for sides and hit enter. Then come back with the axis locked to green and draw a second 36-sided circle. Okay, again, for a sphere, we'll select the flat circle and then use the Follow Me tool on the vertical circle. Here we can come back and erase the ring around the end. And I did that so I have a little more detail and can be a little bit choosier, I guess, about the perimeter of the window that we're going to try to create a frame around for this sphere. So here now I can take the select tool, I'll go into add subtract mode or inverse mode, and then I'll go ahead and select the perimeter around the sphere where I want the window frame to be. Here we go. Oh. Edges only, except for this one face here that I'm going to grab as a reference. Okay, again, too, under the Styles panel, I have Hidden Geometry turned on so that I can see what I'm doing. Okay, Move tool now, Move Copy, and I'm going to go ahead and move a copy of this selection out along the green axis direction. And there you can see we've got a nice frame now that's sort of detached that we can work with. Back to lasso, select subtract mode. I'm going to go ahead and subtract from the selection set the face, so I have just the edges. And then from the context menu overflow, choose the option here for weld edges. That's going to be helpful for some of the stuff we're going to do later. You can see here now with the select tool, I have the option to select that entire perimeter just with one tap. Okay, so we've got the outline of the window and we have a reference face. Now we just need to create the profile that we're going to send around this thing. And so for that, we're going to use the pencil tool and we'll zoom in. A couple ways to do this actually. Pencil tool is one of them. The move tool could also work. So I'll come in here with the move tool as an example and then move a copy of this edge out away from this face. If I hover over the face, I can get an inference for perpendicular. You can see the whole face lights up. So I'm moving this edge, I'm moving a copy of this edge in a direction that's perpendicular to the orientation of that face. And then with the pencil tool, I have the option to come in and fill in the two ends. Eraser tool, erase the extra parts. Okay, so now I have just the profile. Depending on how big you want this to be, this is just a reference, right? But depending on how big you want this to be, you could come in, for example, and tap to select that face, and then down in the context menu, tap the fourth icon over from the left to align the axes to that reference face. So you can come in with the rectangle tool and draw another sort of smaller rectangle on it. You can control the size of the window frame thing that you want to create. Take the eraser tool and then erase out the rest of that. Okay, that could be one way to do it. All right, now I'll take the select tool again, select the perimeter. Not sure why it exploded, but we'll just weld the edges again. Oh, we can see too my axes are still off in a weird direction. So if I want to go to the axes tool over in the toolbar and then tap the reset icon in the top, that'll put the axes back to where they belong. Then grab the Follow Me tool again and swipe the little profile. Profile goes around the path. Take the select tool, triple tap my new window frame to select the whole thing. And then down the context menu, we've got create group as an option. So I can group it. Okay, now we just got to move this frame back. So I'll grab it from that inside corner again, and then snap back to the green axis, and we can align it back to that same endpoint that it started from. There it is. So we've got it aligned back to that same endpoint now. And if we go back to the Styles panel and turn off Hidden Geometry, you can see there we got a nice little frame around the window.